So my artist name is Xuan Rong, Xuanrong, and I am a producer and a singer-songwriter, I guess, technically. I would describe my music as art pop. A lot of the foundation is getting field recordings and making synths out of it and making textures out of it. Some of my influences would be Grimes, definitely, FKA Twigs, Holly Herndon, Sigur Rós, honestly, and Lorde, because I love Lorde. So I wouldn't have learned anything about production or known that it existed if I wasn't on Grimes' Tumblr. So like she made a post and she was like, people have asked me like how to do this. And I found her like little post about it and she posted a screenshot of Ableton and I was like, wait, I love Grimes. I want to make stuff like that. That is why Grimes would be an influence. FKA Twigs, because I never thought I had a high voice, but I just loved singing her stuff. So I like worked my high voice, and I also kind of took a lot of her vocal chops, her vocal samples, and was very heavily influenced by that. On the flip side, I have a very low voice naturally, but Lorde also has a very deep voice, which is why I love singing her stuff, and which is why she's an influence. So I started with classical, like I loved it, and I like practiced a ton, but there was something about it that just I didn't connect with fully. I would be like, I don't feel like myself here. I don't really know what myself is yet, but it's not here. There's this perfectionism and accuracy to classical music that is really only a classical thing, you know, that I think about it. Like, you have to strive towards somebody else's idea of what a composition should sound like. There isn't a lot of leeway for making your own sound. And honestly, after a certain point, I was kind of like, screw traditional senses of melody and chords and whatever, which is how I started field recording, and which is how I integrated field recordings into my production, which is how I started producing. So my set tonight was just a few songs, some new ones, some old ones, some released ones. It was pretty simple. Like, I just have my Ableton set, I have my APC-40, and I have my mic that goes through Ableton just because I do a lot of vocal processing. So that is my set, basically. Sometimes I have like a launch pad or a launch pad mini so I can play pads. Sometimes I have like a keyboard so I can play keys. Today I just went with the push for the pads and the APC-40 and my voice. So I started out with a lot of experimental art pop stuff, but I was like, let me explore other genres. And as I explored other genres, you know, I would write a song in this genre or a song in that genre. And at the end of the day, I still think there's like a little bit of like my production style in it. And there's definitely always my voice. I guess that would be the overarching theme. But yeah, I am definitely trying to figure out if there's a way to have all of those under one artist, if they can be encompassed in one set.
Right there.
I suppose that if you were to use the same sounds across different songs, despite the style of the song, perhaps that sound and that style would carry through and that would be enough for like an identity and a brand. But I don't know, I'm still figuring it out.